Hello everyone, Andrew from Online Coins and Collectables here. This is a long-awaited video update. It's been many months since I've done one. For reasons that some of you may know, I've had a few dramas here in the last 6 months, and so I've put doing videos on the back burner for a little while. But yeah, I thought it's about time, especially after the passing of Queen Elizabeth this evening, whenever that was. I don't know the exact time, Australian time. I thought it was only apt to give you all an update. There's a heap of stuff to go to. I could talk forever, but I will try and keep it succinct and brief as possible. Obviously, I could go into detail of a lot of things, but please, make your own conclusions from some of the things I say. But I'm just going to try and give you a quick briefing of where we're at and where everything is, and update you all on things like stock, on deliveries, on our rebuild, and just a heap of things that are going on. So forgive me if I do waffle on a little bit. As I said, there's a lot to get through. My voice is not the best. I had a cold this week. I haven't had a cold for ages, not COVID. Haven't had a cold for ages, and so it knocked me down this week. But I'm good at the moment. But just still a bit of a croaky voice. So anyway, I'll get into it. So as I said, we haven't had any updates for a while, mainly because of our flood disaster here on February 28th. The flood went through Lismore and surrounding areas. Very devastating, largest flood we've ever seen by 2 metres or so. I don't know the exact figures, but in this building here, where I had at least 3 shops, at least the 3 shops on the bottom level here. For those that don't know, it went through the roof into the flats above. So as you can see, there's no ceiling. The air conditioning's pulled apart. Over here. So everything was pretty much destroyed. We packed up as much as we could and got out a lot of stuff. And with what we knew on the Sunday night before the flood, I didn't lose any sleep. I knew that I'd done as much as I could with what I knew, but the flood was greater than anyone ever expected. And so my 3 shops were destroyed, as well as my warehouse. And anything that was here was pretty much destroyed. We were able to recover very little. And that includes, not only our, computers, office furniture, all the fixtures and fittings, displays, but our stock as well. We got a couple $100,000 worth of stock out, but between the 3 shops and the warehouse, we probably lost $500,000 worth of stock. Actually, more than that when you consider other stuff I had. That was been challenging, and with the cleanup, most of that stock was just loaded and dumped, and unfortunately, when that happened, a lot of stuff just went missing. I had a lot of volunteers. They were absolutely fantastic. Like, the response I had in those first couple of weeks after the flood with cleanups was just phenomenal. I didn't get into my warehouse for a couple of days, but a church group from the Gold Coast came down, and there was about 8 of those lovely people that came down, and they cleaned out my warehouse in about 4 hours. And because everything was just so wet and damaged, it was just all thrown in a pile out. But they were champions. They cleaned it out. But I had a team of champions here too that did a fantastic job. Unfortunately, though, because most of them didn't know what we had or what type of stock we had, and didn't know about coins or trading cards and things like that, they didn't appreciate and didn't know what they were having to look for or scoop out. And it was an impossible task to look through everything, because it would have taken us months to try and sort everything out. And so in most cases, if they found a coin, they just ripped it out of its packaging and put it in a tub. So there was no way to identify anything, or packaging was destroyed. And even banknotes that we had here, we lost a lot of banknotes. We stored them in Hagner archival safe sheets and inside archival safe packets. They might be archival safe, except when the flood gets to them. The biggest drama with that is that the black dye in the Hagner sheets I think some of them were print sheets as well, but the black dye leached everywhere. And so many of our banknotes were unrecognisable. You could tell what they were by their size. Obviously polymers, you could see what they were like. But many of the paper banknotes, if not all of them, I think I only saved a handful of them that didn't get damaged, were all destroyed. It was very disappointing. And so most of those, I thought, okay, take these to the bank. Unfortunately, the bank would not accept them because they were tarnished by floodwaters. So the notes that were recognisable as a particular denomination, whether they be polymers or papers, I took to the bank and they got sent off to the Reserve Bank. And if I get that money back, good luck. I don't know whether I will or not. So because they can't just accept it over the counter as money. We washed a lot, but no, they said no, it's got to go to the Reserve Bank. It's flood damage. They put it in a bag and sent it off. But as I said, all the paper stuff was destroyed, pretty much unrecognisable. Couldn't tell serial numbers, anything like that. It was quite devastating. As I said, all the coins, it was devastating to rip out all that soggy packaging and I had 3 or 4 people who got in and done that for me, but as I said, I couldn't expect them to inspect every coin and identify necessarily whose it was or, anything particular about it. It was just throw them in a tub. And trust me, I've still got plenty of those tubs that haven't been sorted yet, and we will go and sort through those at a later stage, but just at the moment we can't do that. So, and look, it's been a long recovery from the floods. Obviously losing pretty much everything. We lost all our computers and data. I had a data backup, but apparently it hadn't updated for ages. That's my fault. I know that's on me. It's something I just hadn't checked or overlooked for about 12 months. So we've had to recover a lot of data and re-establish a lot of transactions and stuff like that. So it's been challenging. I haven't borrowed to rebuild, but we are rebuilding. So not having a lot of money on hand slows things down a little bit, but in the end of the day, getting trades and supplies has been a challenge. So for instance, we only got our electricity, it hasn't been finished yet, all the electrical work, but we only got that installed last week. So it was 6 months we were waiting before we got a proper electricity supply in. As you can see, we've got no ceiling. Between the 3 shops I leased, I recovered enough ceiling frames to do the front half of the middle shop here at Online Coins. And I put that frame up and I've filled that in and put lights in there. And so the front of this shop's looking okay. But as you see, the back here, we've got no ceiling. Hence no ceiling, hung ceiling there. It means there's no air conditioning, means there's no lighting in most of our shops. So we've still got a long way to go. And so currently, as you can see, I'm working out at the packing area of one of the middle shop here. Our packing area is up and running, but unfortunately we have lost the warehouse. We're not going back in there just at the moment. That was where a lot of our bulk stuff went out of. We've lost that as well. Anyway, I'm not going to speak any more about the floods. You can imagine the drama I've been through, getting trades, having to do a lot of work myself. I surprised myself a bit with that. My rusty old back's actually fared pretty well for it, and it's probably done it more good than bad. So that's enough on the floods, but you can imagine everything that's happened as a result of that. We're coming back and we're getting there. As I said, I'm not borrowing. I don't want to do that. I don't want to get into more debt, but I do owe suppliers a lot of money. And my suppliers, the only reason I came back is the suppliers had my back. The Royal Australian Mint, Ultra Pro, Ultimate Guard, Renix, Lighthouse, all these companies had my back. They looked after me with what I owed them. As you can imagine, on the 28th of February, I had January and February's invoices outstanding and all of a sudden had no stock, no money, no income. They've been extremely generous in helping us get back on the feet. I've got a plan in place with all of them, and hopefully I'll be clear with them by Christmas, which is great. We've worked hard here to try and rebuild things and get things going, and just tightened their belts a little bit, and made the most of it. But we've still got a long way to go. But thank you for your support, everyone, throughout it. We've had some donations as well, which we've put towards buying specific things within the business to help improve things and make things better when we rebuild. And that's the promise I made, is that if I'm rebuilding, I will rebuild it better. It's the biggest challenge for me is my dealing with my impatience. We're still looking at the ceiling, next March to May before that's done. So combined with that, there's a lot of other things that go with that. So my patience will have to be extended further. Anyway, that's enough about the floods. Move on to some more mundane stuff, but stuff that's important. Stock issues. We've had these with COVID, and they're now worse than ever. Even though COVID seems to have disappeared from people's views, we've still got problems with shipping around the world, with industrial disputes on docks in Australia, and transport issues. Every company I know and speak to has problems with staffing. I don't know. I think Australia needs to build a workforce again because it's very hard. I know it's very hard to get staff myself. I'll speak a bit more about that later. But everyone I speak to, look, it's hard to get staff. It's hard to get staff. We've got stock that was supposed to be here in June that has been delayed month after month after month, and now not expected till November. And that's the stuff that we were expecting, let alone the stuff that we weren't expecting. So we're getting what we can, and I'm getting as much as I can. Please understand, I don't have my warehouse anymore. That will be something we'll look at in the future, but I am able to hold the stock levels I used to. Whereas the popular products I used to buy it in by the pallet, I'm just not able to do that at the moment, but I'll do my best to maintain the best stock level I can. So yeah, look, if stuff's out of stock, it's out of stock. We're doing the best. We're not holding back on this. The other challenge with the out of stock issues too is a lot of it is going up in price. We're seeing products from some suppliers doubling, sometimes 50% to doubling. Other ones are going up 10, 20% as a given. Just with the Australian dollar dropping quite low, the lowest it's been for a long time, and pressures on world markets, pricing's going up. And some products that have never seen a price increase have now gone up 30, 40%. And we're also getting manufacturers too, with the increased demand, they're not producing stuff that they used to. So for instance, Ultra Pro have deleted a number of lines, which some of them I think are a bit curious, but they have deleted a number of lines, stuff that they've been making since I was collecting as a teenager, have been discontinued. Which is really interesting. They have replaced some of these products with a more expensive premium product, but yeah, a lot of things we can't get anymore. So yeah, we've still got back orders to fulfill. Some very old. I know a couple of particular products we got in July, we hadn't had for 2 years. I fulfilled the back orders and they're no longer available. It's so that's still continuing. As on our website, please read our terms and conditions. You'll notice when you order on our website, we now show how many of an item in stock, and if you order more than that, we will place it on back order, and we show that on the checkout and shopping cart through the transaction. And please read our terms and conditions in regard to that. But as ever, we always keep a good record of back orders, and if we've got stock come in, we'll get it to you as soon as we can. But simple answer, we still have stock issues. It's ongoing and very disappointing in many circumstances. Next thing I talk about is dispatch delays. Now, we had a massive week last Thursday, Friday, last weekend, with new releases from the Royal Australian Mint, and also a new Magic the Gathering release and a few other things going on. We had our largest weekend ever. The Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday of last week was absolutely huge. Biggest we've ever had, thank you so much, of course. And so we had, we do thousands of orders a month, but to do thousands of orders in a few days, it's just something we haven't experienced before. And especially at the moment when we're not fully rebuilt, we're not able to cover it. And I would say we're not able to cover it because obviously our resources are a bit down. I've lost that warehouse and packing area that was there. So we're back to 2 smaller packing areas in this shop and another shop. And the third shop I'm currently subletting because I haven't got in repaired that yet. But I'll start repairing that next week. But I'm also down staff. I lost basically 3 staff after the flood. I lost one not long after, and very unfortunate circumstances, and a staff member that was loved by many of our customers. That was very disappointing. I'd recently upgraded one of my staff, an excellent worker who just was just achieving things in leaps and bounds here, and I upgraded her to my second in charge, assistant manager, and she was doing a fantastic job. Unfortunately, she got poached by someone else. So she left last month, and the very next day, a new staff member I put on also quit. There was reasons for that too. And another great staff member then a week later said that she was leaving. Now, we knew that she'd been leaving for a while. It was just about everything falling into place with her and family and housing availability, and so she's quit as well. So Kat was also at front of house, one of the people you spoke to on the phone first up, and with the amount of emails and good wishes she had, she was well loved by our wonderful customers as well. And unfortunately, today's the final day. So effectively, I've lost 3 staff. I had 9 staff before the flood. 2 were part-time to make up, so it was really only 8 full-time positions. But I lost 3 of those, and 2 of my staff who were married. One, the manager of my gaming shop, and an admin staff member here at Online Coins. And they were married, and they've had a serious medical incident in their lives, and they are not with me at the moment. I don't know what the future holds for them, but for the next couple of weeks at least, I've let them, well, obviously I'm not letting them, it's their right. They're out there doing what they need to do to recover from that trauma. So I'm also down those staff too. So I'm effectively down 5 staff members at the moment, with the biggest day we've ever had, biggest weekend we've ever had at the same time. That is the simple reason why we're late getting orders out to you, everyone. I'm just down on staff. I've got 2 new staff members. One girl started on Monday. She's here for a couple of days, and then next week she's 4 days, and after that she's full time. And I've got another young bloke who started with me. He's starting with me today, and he will be full time. I promised him up till Christmas, as I do have a couple of candidates for the management position. I'm still interviewing, and I'm hoping to fill that position before Christmas as well. So I've got, as I said, 2 new staff will be on deck, and obviously training hasn't happened yet, and that's going to be a big thing on me, but getting them up to speed as quick as possible will be a priority. But at the moment, yeah, we've just got a backlog of orders, and we're struggling to get them out at a speed we want, but please understand that we're doing the best we can. It's just things at the moment are a bit out of sorts with 5 staff members down. And I mentioned it before, getting staff is horrible. I advertised for 2 or 3 positions over the last 3 or 4 months, and the number of applicants and the quality of applicants is the worst I've ever seen. And the current management position, which has, plenty going for it, I'm lucky. I haven't even got 10 applicants yet. I used to get 50, 80, 120 applicants to jobs, and this one I've got like 7. And most of those are just putting their name down because they have to, not because they want it. Time wasters. The other big thing with the dispatch delays is time wasters. This is a very popular release of a number of products from the Royal Australian Mint. And despite our best efforts, we still had people who were putting in multiple orders for stuff we had limits on. We put limits on stock so that everyone gets a fair crack and we can share the love with everyone. We've always been about that, and that's what we'll continue to do. But we have people putting sometimes up to 10, 12 orders in, slightly varying their address or their name or something like that to try and avoid the whole situation. We cancel and partly refund those orders, and I say partly because we take off the costs that we incur. Payment providers like Afterpay, ZipPay, ShopPay, all that sort of stuff, they do not return the transaction fees to us. So if you double order against our limits, which we advertise on the products, we will refund you less those fees and charges which we occur, and that includes our labour and having to do it, because it takes a long damn time to sort all this stuff out. And so while all you people who double order and triple order and whatever, and change your name or switch around to try and dodge the orders, we find them generally, but it takes a lot of time to fix this stuff and sort it, and we then try to redistribute to customers. So it's you mongrels who do that are holding it up for everyone else. So that took nearly a day of my time to sort out all those double orders, which has held up the dispatch. So I apologise to all the people that are waiting on stock, waiting on orders that have been paid for. We're doing our best, but yeah, these mongrels who are hoarding and trying to scalp this stuff on eBay or whatever, they've held up the show. But rest assured that we do not accept that, and they do not get sent their stock if they do multiple orders. So that's the delays, guys, but we're getting to it as soon as we can. Now, there's going to be some weird stuff happening too. So it's with the passing of Queen Elizabeth's death this morning, which prompted me to start this video more than anything. This is something I was in tears. Like I don't call myself a monarchist, but yeah, she was a good lady. If nothing else, she was a good lady, and she was always someone who was known in my life. My parents had a picture of the Queen above our dining table. I think we prayed to God and the Queen every night before we ate. And my mum always used to have a dinner set set aside, so when the Queen came to visit, she could pull out that dinner set. But anyway, that's the Queen's been someone who I've always admired throughout my life, and it is sad. I've got a tear in my eye now. I'm sure that she'll be missed by many people, but it creates a few little things. So obviously overnight we've sold out of all our platinum Jubilee coins. So sorry anyone has missed out on that. I'm trying to get some more stock. I sent an email off to the Mint at 3 or 4 o'clock this morning when I woke up. It's like just after 6 now. I've been here for an hour or two. But when I got up this morning, I shot an email to the Mint straight away to see if I could grab any stock. So I'll try and get some more platinum stock. The prices are going up, but I'll sell that platinum stock at release price if I can get some. And I'll put limits on it so everyone who wants a crack can get it. So I'll try and get some more platinum Jubilee stock. The changing of the monarch, it's the first time this has happened in the Australian collectible coin market. Obviously, our lovely Liz was on the throne for 70 years, and the collectible side of the production of collectible items by the Mint wasn't necessarily a thing when she was around. So for our whole collecting time at the Mint, from 66 onwards, when the Royal Australian Mint have been doing decimal coin sets, even from coin sets right through to the vast array, and it's vast, a vast array of collectible stuff they do now, it's always had Queen Elizabeth's effigy on those coins. This will change, obviously. How that change is going to happen, I don't know. I am assuming, that's only assuming, I don't know, but I do believe the Mint have certain protocols they have to do in regard to the monarch's effigy being on a coin, and I think that future releases over the next few months that were slotted in will be cancelled. So important things like Mint sets, baby sets for 2023 and so on will need to be rejigged, and there will be some massive delays with that stuff. So I think there will be a bit of a glut in the collector market for new stuff in the next few months until that happens. I don't know what plans the Mint had in place or whether they're ready to jump to something new. I am concerned that stock that we haven't received from this month's release, so for instance the Christmas coins haven't arrived yet, and the Wallale Centenary coins haven't arrived yet. They were on delay from the Mint. I don't know whether we will get those or not. I'll keep you updated. If anyone's placed an order for those, we'll obviously refund you and let you know what's going on. But hopefully if we get those, but future stuff maybe held back or changed. So we need to wait and see that. So this will be interesting times. Everyone at the moment, the online store's going nuts with people buying everything with Queen Elizabeth's head on it at the moment. So yeah, as I said, it's a new time for the Australian coin collecting market. Okay, that's it, guys. As far as, sorry, one other thing, as far as coins goes, like I ordered 6 display cabinets for my two retail shops. I got 2, and even those were damaged. I'm still haven't got display stock on here, display space in the stock. A little bit, but not a lot of display space in the shop. So I haven't gone out and invested in a lot of second-hand older stuff as yet because I've got nowhere to store it. So over the next few months, hopefully that will come back into place. So yeah, if you're looking coming through Lisbon and you want to drop in, there's only limited to look out, but if you're after accessories, we've got a good range of accessories back in again. But they're always happy to see our customers. We love you dropping in and saying good day. But yeah, look out. We'll try and get a better inventory as we move forward. Okay. Yeah, so we are open, less a few key bits and pieces, but we're happy to see you again. We have been selling some of the flood damage stock online over the last few months. Thanks to everyone who snapped some of that stuff up. It helps recover some of the losses that we've made, and which goes towards paying suppliers, obviously, and keeping us going. But yeah, we've still got some more of that flood damage stuff to go through. I've just down on staff and haven't been able to get that sorted lately, but we will have some more of that up there. If you've got any questions, ladies and gents, just shoot us through an email. I don't know who's going to receive it. I haven't decided who's going to manage the inquiries emails yet because that task hasn't been assigned. Now Kat's left. But yeah, I've got to rejig who does what, and yeah, just one of those tasks I've got to figure. But someone's going to get an email and I'll get back to you. But yeah, if you've got any questions, you're welcome to message or email. Happy to answer. Just bear with us. We're all a bit under pressure, and we'll just might take it a bit longer than you'd usually expect. The coin business and the game business are still very strong, and we're recovering. As I said, I haven't had to borrow, and I'm recovering from the floods. It's just going to take time, and I still aim to be, provide the best customer service you can get. That's what I've absolutely, I don't know what the word is, but I've absolutely drummed into everyone here that customer service is the key to what we do here. We're in the privileged position that you, the customer, are spending your money on, your hard-earned money on something that gives you a bit of pleasure. You're not spending it because you have to. You're spending it because you want to. So we have that privilege, and we can't take it for granted. And I've always drummed to everyone. It's all about customer service, and customer service is everything from stuff being dispatched out the back door, through to what we have in the shop, to the way we treat our customers, to the range of stock we have, the availability of stock. Everything we do to make your experience better is what makes us who we are. So I will continue to help improve that after the flood, and once we get fully back up and running, I'm going to make sure it's better than it's ever been. So stay with us, guys. I know it's been a long time since we've had a chat, but yeah, I'll try and do a bit more of it now. I'm back in sort of an office. My office, I start work on that shop next week, so back to the manual labour. So hopefully I'll be back in my office in the next month or two. But now I'm just sort of sitting at a temporary desk at the back of one of the packing rooms. All right, I won't waffle on anymore. Thanks for your time. I'll catch you next time, and happy collecting.